Hello again, this is Al, just giving you an update on what this all is, this blog idea that I had here. So, with everything going on out there, it's nice to be able to control your content, So what I came up with here is WordPress. I mean, after doing some research, Joomla is right there too, don't get me wrong. But at this point, I'm heading towards WordPress for blogging. And that's what I'm currently using for my current, retarded saying that, but currently using for my website that I have up right now, MTEP Home. So, you can see here I'm now moved on from the VMware to the VPS world. VPS is virtual private server, and OVH is who I'm using for that because they have some great options here. And when you think of VPS, here's a simple way to put it. Here's VPS, okay? You can get it for $349 a month here right now. It's not that expensive, I think 40 some odd dollars. And I've got a server, okay? So this server is this VPS SSD option here. Let's see if it comes up here. Okay, so I basically got this one right here for $335 a month. I mean, this is actually a pretty good deal because you get 2.4 gig with 2 gigs of memory and 20 gig hard drive, and it's considered an SSD, whether it is or not. I haven't had any complaints, so I'm happy with that. And the other thing, you're at 100 meg per second, but it's unlimited. So when you're thinking about this stuff, be aware, because some of these sites will charge you for bandwidth. Your SLA, that's how much your uptime is. It's not too bad. It's almost 99.9. So, these are things to think about. You get one IPv4 and IPv6 static, and there's no blockage. I've had no problems, and they haven't been blacklisted in when you're dealing with spam. So you're getting, from what I've seen, I'm pretty happy. So, I created a relay server, I call it. One for the web, I should say relay servers. One for the web and one for email. And those are what kind of act as the gateway between my network running totally different subnets and completely away from these relay servers and the relay servers themselves. So this thing is kind of a crazy setup, all homegrown, all thought of. Please comment on any suggestions you guys have, because this is all just kind of where I'm at right now, okay, and what's working for me. And it's really nice that I've got this set up with the ability for this reverse DNS and those options. When I say reverse DNS, I mean the IP relates back to a physical name. So when you do something like this, you search for an IP and you do the search with the pointer set here. So you got A record, AA, CNAME, MX, NS, pointer. That's domain name pointer. That's basically saying I want to find out what domain owns this IP. So OVH lets me set that, and as you can see, I've set it to www.amtep.home for this one. And if we go back to here, we look at this one and we grab this one, and it was already copied, but anyway, and you can do paste into here, do a search, and then you'll see mail amtep home. So you can see now this is serving my web and mail. That's the reverse pointed back to my boxes. Okay, so DNS can now find me, and you get better spam. You're not blacklisted on the spam where you'd see something like this, where you get something like that. Instead, you'll get something like what I just did a few minutes ago, like this. Why? Because you're properly authenticated. Your server is properly associated. That's all because of the VPS things that I've set up. Without that, none of this stuff works. You end up with the results I just showed you right here. Not happy. Okay, so that's when I realized VPS was needed. Okay, so the setup for that, real quick, very easy. When you go to the VPS, you know, when you deploy, you pick your operating system. See, they give you, remember what we did before. So setting up Debian 9 on VMware. This does it for you. Basically, if I were to deploy this, this would set my server to the same point as that other video that I showed you previously, the last video I did. And these servers would be at the exact same kind of level, if you will. Both set with a base OS, both ready for the next layering, okay? Which is, I'm going to put down the general. These servers always have this kind of stuff on them. That's going to be the next video, is just kind of, here's what I put down to get these servers to a commonality. And there's very little difference there. And then you get into the more specifics beyond the common goods, like putting webmin in, those types of things. You get down to the very basics, firewall, the basic setups, those types of things. Once you do that, then you start to specialize the servers into whether they're an email server, whether they're a web server, whether they're whatever purpose they have in life. That's where you start to pick other things. So, this is just to kind of give you an idea of how you can handle emails and webs and those things. Have them so that they're not directly attached to your dynamic IP and your IP that's blacklisted because you live off a cable modem, and the cable modem is almost always going to be blacklisted. That's just the way it is. Don't expect to be able to serve email. Most of them probably even block port 25, which is necessary to receive email in the domain anyway. And that's a whole nother story. But I just wanted to give you a heads up of what this looks like. And then when you get into more of the specifics, you can look at these IPs. These are all static IPs that I actually bought 2 more IPs because I'm going to have another website, Al's How To, and that's going to be another version of WordPress, and that's kind of more where I'm going to be building with you guys on this channel, is this website. That's going to be kind of my first little project here, so bear with me as I get through this. It's taken me a while to get to this point, honestly, and that's just because, okay, there were so many different options. Which one do I choose? Which one's going to kind of work? And now I'm to a point where I feel like I can actually start giving meaningful information to people that wanted to do something similar to what I've done. All right, so like I say, you're not breaking the bank when you're setting these up. I think they're $40. And if you get a blog going, you can make money off the blog as well. There's many ways to make money off of a blog, just like there's many ways to make money off of YouTube. And it's not so much I care about the money as much as I'm learning something. I'm able to pass it along, and also I'm able to advance some ideas maybe. So that's kind of the main goal here, to think about things. Because how does all this interconnect? Well, it gets into more of the technical, but these servers are interconnected through OpenVPN. Okay, so this server's running as a client OpenVPN. These servers are running as client OpenVPN servers to my main server. I don't have it up anymore, I don't think. I think I closed it. But to my VMware layer. So let's see. Yes, and I don't care about, I'm not going to get into, you're going to get stuff like that. And this is pretty normal. I didn't mention that last time. It's all because I'm using snake oil, as they're called, SSLs within my network. I mean, I really don't care right now that much. But if you look at, like Amped Up Home, it's a valid SSL. See, it's valid. So anyway, that's just a quick video on the initial next step. I shouldn't say initial, but the next step of setting up the OVA, the VPS on OVH. You buy 2 servers, one for email and one for web, because then you can kind of handle the traffic, I guess. I mean, I haven't had any real trouble with, I could probably got away with one, but I have 2 running right now. One for email, one for web, both of them being VPN'd back into my network, so that I can actually have my email server running within my network where I have more space available, that type of things. Why would I do that? Because I have all the space I need, so to speak, to run a server, as opposed to trying to run it on a VPS where you have to pay for space. Space is premium, CPU is premium. So I'm able to do things cheaply, where I don't need as much space, and I don't need a high VPN or a high CPU or multiple CPUs for that matter. I'm just relaying off of those servers, so it's minimal impact on the overall performance of anything, and so that's kind of where I'm at with this at this point. I think this is a good spot for ending. Let me know what you think. We'll just take it to the next step later, and the next one would be on, let's see, what would be the next one? I'm going to get into actually setting up the Lightspeed server, because I think that would be, no, I'm sorry, I haven't even talked about it. Not Lightspeed, but I'm going to talk about the general setup next time. Sorry. So general setup is next. Baseline install, then we did VPS install, and then we're going to get into the general setup. Thanks. Bye.